Hey guys, we are going to go into the third form of a linear equation. This is called the standard form. We've talked about slope-intercept form. Monday we talked about point-slope form. And today we're talking about standard form. And below I've put the standard form. It's ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are going to be some form of numbers. The biggest thing with standard form is you cannot have fractions at the end of your answer. So we're going to learn how to clear those fractions away. Okay? So, I'm sorry, if I were you, I'd write down the standard form. ax plus by equals c. Okay, next, I need to put these next examples in standard form. Right now, this is in slope-intercept form. So if we think about standard form, I need it to have ax plus by equals c. And right now, my x and my c are on the same side. So I have to think to myself, well, I need to move this x. X has got to be on the same side as y. So I'm going to draw a line down the middle. I've got to get this 4x on the left side. So what I did to one side, I have to do to the other. So I'm going to subtract 4x to both sides. This cancels. On the left side, now all I have is negative 4x plus y equals 2. And there's my answer, because it's in the form ax plus by equals 2. And I have no fractions, so that one's done. That's pretty easy. Let's go to the next one. Ooh, this is in point-slope form. Oh man, so what the heck am I going to do first? Well, the first thing I need to do is get rid of these parentheses. So I'm going to have to distribute. So negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. And then I'm going to bring everything else down. Okay, now the same thing. I need to get ax plus by. So I have numbers on both sides. So that's the first thing I'm going to do is get my numbers on the same side. Well, I know c has to be on the right side, so I'm going to add 3 to this side, add 3 to this side. So right now I have y equals negative 2x minus 5. Because I had a negative 8 and a positive 3. So now I got to get rid of this negative 2x. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides. So I have 2x plus y equals negative 5. And I know that's in the form ax plus by equals c. Okay, next one. Okay, now I have some fractions. Okay, we kind of talked about these fractions and what we're going to do with them. Well, we need to get rid of them. Okay, and in order for me to get rid of them, I'm going to have to do some multiplying. Now, I need to decide what I'm going to multiply by. In order to clear this 2/3, okay, I'm going to multiply by the denominator, because that way I know that it'll be divisible by that, so I can go ahead and eliminate it. So if I multiply everything by 3, okay, 3 times y is 3y. Now what's 2/3 times 3? 3 over 1, which gives me 6 over 3, which is just 2. So if I multiply by the denominator, it just gives me the numerator. So now I have 2x. 3 times 5 is 15. So let's go over that again. In order to get rid of this fraction, we multiply by the denominator to every single term. So I stick the 3 here, and then I distribute this 3 through. Every time you distribute the 3 to the fraction, they're just going to cancel, and you'll get your numerator. So now I got to move my x. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. So now I have negative 2x plus 3y equals 15. And now my fractions are gone. Now some people say, well, can I just move that fraction first? You can, but I don't want to deal with moving it first. I want to get rid of the fraction first. And that's what I did to get rid of the fraction. Okay, let's do another one. Now I have two fractions. I have 1/4 and I have negative 5/8. Oh no, I have two fractions. So what denominator do you think I should multiply by to make sure that both of them get cleared? Well, I'm going to multiply by the biggest denominator, because then I know that 5/8 is going to get cleared. So I'm going to multiply everything by 8. So 8 times y is 8y. 8 times 1/4 is just going to give me 2. 8 times negative 5/8, I know that these 8s will cancel, so I'm just going to have negative 5. So I cleared my fractions, and I have 8y equals 2x minus 5. Now, I just do what I need to do. So subtract 2x to both sides. Negative 2x plus 8y equals negative 5. Okay, again, I just cleared those fractions. Okay, now we're going to get into graphing standard form. And I think graphing standard form is the easiest of graphing all of them. We're going to use something called the cover-up method. Literally, we're covering up numbers. So what we're going to do, and it's kind of hard because you can't see my hand, but here's my equation. I'm going to first cover up my x, or pretty much saying like x is going to be 0. So if I were to plug in x, 0 for x, 3 times 0 is just 0. So I'm going to cover this up so it actually just goes away. So I'm going to erase it for right now. So now I'm just going to solve this equation. So I know that I can divide both sides by 2 and y equals 3. So my point would be 0, 3 because I covered up x, so x has to be 0. Okay, so now let me go ahead and write this again. But this time, I'm going to bring back my 3x, and I'm going to cover up my 2y. So I'm going to cover up y, literally cover up method. This is all there is to it. I'm going to cover it up, and now I'm going to solve for x. Divide both sides by 3, x equals 2. So x is 2, y is 0, because I covered it up. So now I have 2 points, and I can just graph. So now I'm going to graph this. I'm going to make an x and y coordinate. First dot is 0, 3, so 1, 2, 3. Second dot is 2, 0. And literally, there's my line. So I just graphed this line in standard form by covering it up. So I covered up the x's, I solved for y. I covered up the y, I solved for x. Okay, let me show you another one. Okay, so let's cover up the x first. So let me just put a x through it this time, then I can erase it a little better. Okay, so now I have negative 3y equals negative 9. So divide both sides by negative 3. So y equals 3. So I know x was 0. Y is positive 3. Okay, now let me do it again. This time, I'm going to cover up my y. So I have 4x equals negative 9. So divide both sides by 4. I get x equals 2, negative 2, negative 4 and 1/2. Sorry, let me erase this 4, make it a little bit better. Negative 4 and 1/2. So now I have negative 4 and 1/2, 0. So now all I have to do is graph this. Literally, standard form graphing is super, super easy. You just use the cover-up method. So let's go ahead and graph this. X and Y axis. 0, 3, 1, 2, 3, put a dot. Negative 4.5, 1, 2, 3, 4.5, and 0. Connect it, make a line, and there is my graph. Okay, hopefully it was that easy for you guys. And now you'll have a worksheet to work on, and you can always refer back to these notes.